Well, good morning, everybody. We had to feed little Buddy this morning. He was meowing at the door. But little Buddy says good morning, everybody. Good morning, YouTube. What I really wanted to show you this morning, other than little Buddy, I got my cup of coffee here. I'll take you out back. If I can get out the door without falling, carrying the camera. But one thing I forgot to do goes to hummingbirds this morning. I didn't want to scare him away. But I'm going to try to sit here at the table and get situated good. And be able to film my birds. And the reason I'm doing that this morning is you'll notice, and the hummingbird just flew off. He's not coming back while I'm talking. But what I wanted to say is, there was one thing I forgot to do when I put my hummingbird feeders up, and that is get some mint oil or peppermint oil and put it on my feeders. That helps keep the bees away. Even though I do see a bee on one of them this morning. I probably didn't get quite enough peppermint oil on it. But if you have a problem with bees getting on your feeders, take some pure mint oil or peppermint oil. And because when I went to the store, I couldn't get mint. They did not have mint oil anywhere, but they had peppermint. And you get it in the food section where you get your vanilla extract and all that other stuff. But the bees do not like peppermint. So usually they'll pretty much leave the feeders alone. But there was so many bees clustered on every one of my hummingbird feeders yesterday that the hummingbirds wouldn't come near it. And I don't blame them. I was afraid I was going to get stung just by trying to get them off long enough to put the peppermint oil on there. And then right after I did that, the hummingbirds started coming back to the feeder. But I wanted to give you that little tip. I don't know if any of you have a problem with bees on your hummingbird feeders, but I do. Ants and bees. So the little moats, that I fixed that are above the hummingbird feeder, that takes care of the ants, because the ants will not cross water. So if you keep those little moats full of water, you're not bothered with ants getting on the hummingbird feeder. And on the other hand, if you've got bees, usually they will leave your feeders alone if you rub mint oil on them. Either peppermint oil or mint oil. And like I said, you get it at the food section, basically where you find your lemon extract and stuff like that. Now, if I quit talking, maybe my hummingbirds will come back to the feeder. Drink my coffee. Oh, that coffee's good this morning. As you can see, I've got one little bee that is determined to try to get back at one of them. But he flies around it and he detects that mint and he won't stay long. But oh my God, yesterday they were just caked on the feeder like they would a beehive or something. And like I said, we need the bees to pollinate our gardens, but we don't need the bees on our hummingbird feeders. So this is the good way to keep the bees away from the hummingbird feeders so the birds can feed, and we know without killing your bees. I mean, you still may get one or two that'll hang around and find an empty spot where there's no mint and linger a little bit. But if you see that, just get you a cotton ball and put a little bit more mint oil on it and rub that area where you see the bee landed, and he won't come back and stay the next time. Now I'm going to be quiet and let the bees come by. I hear my neighbor's chickens. Oh, we got more rain last night, so my plants ought to love that this morning. Like I said, I'm going to get quiet and see if the bees will come in. Yeah, not the bees, the hummingbirds will come back. Because they were here at the feeders until I came out on the back patio, and then they flew off. See, there's one bee determined to get on that feeder. I'll have to get some more mint oil and come out here and rub them again. The hummingbirds don't seem to mind the peppermint or the mint, but the bees don't like it. So peaceful out here this morning. Our bees disappeared the summer after that week-long snowstorm we had. But now they're back tenfold. I hear my neighbor's chickens. Well, I guess the hummingbirds don't want me out here this morning. But anyway, just that tip that I wanted to share with you is about the hummingbirds and putting the mint or peppermint on your feeders, because it's an oil and it will stay on there for quite a while. Even when it dries, it's still on there, and the bees can smell it. And like I said, the hummingbirds don't seem to mind it, but those bees do not like peppermint or mint, either one. Looks like my flowers are blooming. The clematis going up the trellis out there. More and more are opening up. It's going to be pretty when they're all over the arbor. And it's working its way on up over the top, so. And pretty soon the ones on the other side will catch up. Because I've got 3 or 4 different kind of clematis planted in those pots. So there'll be different colors. It's going to be pretty. The birds love it. Hummingbirds love the flowers because of the nectar. But anyway, I didn't want to get on here and keep you all day. I just wanted to get on here and let you know about the tip with your hummingbird feeders. If you're bothered with bees, put just a little bit of mint oil. If you can't find mint oil, get the peppermint oil. There he goes. See, the hummingbirds don't mind the mint. That little hummingbird could care less whether there was mint oil or peppermint oil on there. Doesn't bother him at all. But it must burn the bees or something, because they don't like it. They'll come around and they'll sniff around and try to get the nectar, but they detect that peppermint. They don't stay. There's one flying around now, but I bet he doesn't stay there. He'll go to each one trying to find one that doesn't have peppermint. But he will not stay. Oh, here comes little buddy. Did you finish your breakfast? Huh? Did you finish your breakfast? He's rubbing into the tripod. He's down here at my feet. Well, I can't get him on camera view. My feet. And there is a bee on the bottom of that middle feeder. He must have found a spot that didn't have mint. Because when you try to put mint on a feeder and there's a swarm of bees all over it, it's kind of difficult to put the mint on there. But I managed to do it yesterday without getting stung. Where you going, little buddy? Huh? Where you going? Huh? He says, well, you're not going to pay attention to me. I'll just walk off.